Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to Miami. My name is Barry Rosen, and we're going to talk about ChatGPT and business today. So we're going to start this off. I actually used ChatGPT to create this slide. I'm a big fan of music and Grateful Dead in particular. So I thought, hey, it would be really cool if I could combine my love for digital marketing, my knowledge of AI, and a little quote. So this is from a song from the Grateful Dead from Terrapin Station. This is kind of about inspiration. So just a little something to get kicked off. You can see the job that ChatGPT did here on this picture. So, all right. Few housekeeping items. If you have a phone, get it out. There is a lot of opportunity for you to get some information from this presentation today. And if you have your phone, there's a lot of QR codes, so get it ready. All right, a little bit about me. This is my LinkedIn profile. My background is I come from an IT world. I worked for IBM for over 20 years. So I worked on a technology on a product called Lotus Note. Lotus Notes, I'm kind of dating myself. I bet half the people here don't know what Lotus Notes is, but it is a low-code platform that I worked on for IBM for 20 years, and now I'm in digital marketing and AI. So a little bit about my digital marketing agency. We've been around for 30 years. We started when the internet started. We're actually older than Google. What do? We help people grow their business. That's what I'm about. I understand what are you trying to achieve from a business perspective, and I use the tools of digital marketing to help you grow your business. So let's talk about why is a marketing company talking about AI? What is the connection here? Well, Sam Altman, who is the founder of OpenAI, said that 95% of what marketers use agencies, strategists, and creative professionals today, in 5 years, will be done by AI. So it's really important for you to understand where things are going and how you can take advantage of this and how you can position yourselves ahead of your competitors by using AI. So just by a show of hands, who's using AI daily? Awesome. I use it daily. Who can't live without this? Has it become a part of your process? Great. This is awesome. All right. Are you using free or paid? Who's using? Very good. Very good. And then for your company, do you use it for personal or for company usage? Personal, mostly. Right. Well, that's good because that's where I'm going to talk about how this is important. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Making sense of the noise. There's a lot out there, and let's talk about what's important. What is AI? I'll kind of do a quick explainer. Why you can't ignore it. And this is so interesting. I created this presentation a couple months ago, but this industry is changing so rapidly. I had to revise this last week because Microsoft had an announcement about the future of business, and it was so important I wanted to share it with you. So let's make sense of the noise. I did have a little bit of a throwback here, but because of my AV issues, I'm not going to be able to show this to you. But if you remember, this is a clip from the Today Show where they talk about the internet, and they're very confused about the @ sign and what the internet is. And this kind of just shows you about how quickly technology advances, and sometimes we may not know about something, but then literally within a couple of years, it's every day, and we can't live without it. This is an insane graphic. ChatGPT is the quickest product to reach 100 million users in history. And if you follow the news, a couple of months ago, ChatGPT announced that you could do image creation, and there was a trend on the internet where people were turning images into this certain style of animation from a Japanese studio called Gilby. That alone added 200 million users to ChatGPT in 2 weeks. Just that. So you can see the insane growth of this product compared to other things that we have reference to, like TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Spotify, Telegram. These things took years and months to reach 100 million users. ChatGPT did this in less than 1 month. So your life is going to be assisted too, and you probably don't realize it, but you're using AI every day in everything that you do. When you go to Netflix and Netflix suggests movies based on your past viewing, that's AI. When you go to your map and you go somewhere and Apple says it's going to take 5 minutes because you've already been there 20 times and it knows you're going to go there, that's AI. So let's talk a little bit about what is AI. So there's a lot of terminology out there, and there's a lot of different things within AI. So within AI, you've got, whoops, I was trying to use my pointer here. Doesn't really show. But you've got machine learning and you've got deep learning. These are both parts of AI. And then what we're using a lot today is Gen AI. And that is a subset of deep learning. And what that means is that it learns. These are models that actually learn from what you're typing and from what you've done in the past. And they're starting to store all this information and data about you so that they know you as well. So what exactly is an LLM? This is what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT reads a lot of content and then tries to make a prediction based on what you've put in the past about what it's going to provide you in the future. So it's predictive. And so think about it as a digital librarian with all of this past knowledge from reading, and it can predict what you're asking based on what you're typing to it. So if you type the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy, it's going to predict river based on all of the information that's out there on the internet. It's going to make a prediction. So you've got ChatGPT, you've got Meta AI, you've got Gemini, you've got Claude, you've got Perplexity. These are all chat-based LLMs, and they all have different specialties and use cases. Perplexity is a really great browser, and so all of these have different use cases and models. And really it's changing the way that we work. And it's not something to be scared of because it's not necessarily going to replace us, but it will augment us. And if you don't know AI, then you will be replaced, not by AI, but probably by someone who knows AI and is using AI. So really what you should be scared of is the person who's using AI if you're not AI itself, because AI is really just a tool. Now this is really important. This is the part that I actually had to adjust because this is hot off the presses. This is directly from Microsoft. So this is not me telling you this is important. This is Microsoft. So this is Microsoft, this is their prediction of how AI is going to impact every business over the next 2 to 5 years. Every organization will be impacted, and this is Microsoft's vision of what is going to happen. So we see that adoption is accelerating. 24% of leaders say their companies have already deployed AI organization-wide. So a fifth of organizations have already talked about AI and have deployed it in their organization and have a vision and a strategy. And 82% of leaders think this year is pivotal. This is the year to do it. Do not wait. Whatever you take away from this presentation is the urgency of not waiting. Doing nothing is a wrong move. This is the first step to the frontier firm of the future. Phase 1 is the human with the assistant. This is what we all talked about today. We're using ChatGPT as a personal assistant. I use it every day as a sales agent and a sales assistant to monitor my sales calls and give me examples of where I can improve in my sales process. Phase 2 is where you're going to see human and AI agent teams working together. And phase 3 is where a human is going to act as a manager for AI agents, where they will be able to delegate tasks to their team of personalized AI agents. So every employee will be a manager of their own team of AI agents. And just like a manager today delegates tasks that they don't want to do to their employees, You will delegate all the tasks that you don't want to do that take a lot of time and effort to your AI assistant so that you can focus on your core value and what you're bringing to the business. So this is just really showing where we are today. We've got an 80% gap of where they say people have things that they need to do and how much time they have to do it. So what this is basically saying is that we have increasing workloads and less time to accomplish those tasks. The awesome thing is that we now have technology that can help solve these problems and help solve these gaps. Employees turn to everything for AI. Okay, so if you're a business, your employees are probably using AI in ways that you probably don't even know, but you need to know what they're doing, and you need to put guardrails around how they're using AI and how they're using your data and your customers' data. This is the race to be an agent boss. So these are the 7 indicators to identify who is going to be an agent boss. These are the attributes of a person who is going to succeed in this role and this model. So anyone that is using AI as a thought partner, anyone that is trusting AI for high stakes works, anyone who is using it regularly, and anyone who's familiar with agents. So all of you already have a leg up on all of your colleagues because you're already familiar with AI. Now, where do we use AI now? How can you actually take this into your business? What are some actual use cases that you can use today to help you do your job in your organization? This is a way to identify those opportunities. First question that you ask, is it data driven? Is this process repetitive? Is it predictive? And is it generative? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, then you can use AI to solve these problems. Here are a couple of AI use cases for a corporate office. For sales, you can use this to generate proposals. I personally use this as a sales coach. I have an AI assistant that records all of my sales meetings. I take the transcript after the call. I put it into ChatGPT. I say, you are an expert sales coach. Review this call. Tell me what I did well and tell me areas where I can improve and give me specific examples of how I can implement these suggestions into future sales calls. And now I've done this so many times I can say, look at all of my sales calls in the past and identify blind spots and give me cheat sheets so that going into sales calls, I'm prepared and I know what my blind spots are so I do not miss anything and I close deals using AI. You can use this to score your leads as well. For marketing, this can be used for content generation, creating blogs, creating pictures, creating any kind of content. This can be to align your brand voice. You can create a custom LLM that has your particular brand voice so that when you're creating content, it is with your brand voice going forward. For operationals, you can use this as a chat assistant. You can use it as a training avatar, as a logistics management. For accounting, you can upload documents into ChatGPT. You can upload worksheets. You can upload spreadsheets. You can look for insights in P&L. You can look for automation opportunities. You can use this for cross-platform integration as well. Here's where you can get a really awesome ebook that will have hundreds of pages of expert insights with LLMs and practical use cases. This is free, so get this now. And I'll give you guys a moment. I'm about to do a demo, and I'm going to show you how AI is not just chat. All right, so I have an AI virtual receptionist. This can be used for inbound leads, outbound leads, as well as validation of appointments. So what you're looking at here, this is the dashboard. So every call is logged. And I did this in 5 minutes. What I did is I gave it my website, I gave it my LinkedIn profile, and I went to ChatGPT and I created a list of qualifying questions for a digital marketing agent in Houston, Texas. I don't know if you can hear. Can you guys hear that? Hi, this is Bob. I'm calling for some digital marketing assistant.
I specialize in AI-driven strategies to help businesses like yours with visibility, lead generation, and revenue growth. To get started, could you tell me a bit about the challenges you're currently facing with your digital marketing?
I'm trying to do Google Ads, and I'm not having any success. My budget is $500 a month, and if I don't get leads into my pizza shop immediately, I'm going to go out of business.
Okay, Bob. I understand the urgency. Running a successful Google Ads campaign, especially for a local business like a pizza shop, requires a very targeted approach. Given your budget of $500 a month and the immediate need for leads, we need to be very strategic. First, have you tried Google Ads before, or is this your first time using the platform?
So you get the idea. This is actually tied to my calendar. So if the lead is qualified, it will actually schedule a meeting on my calendar for that person to have a call with me. This can be used as a virtual receptionist. So inbound call routing as well as outbound cold calling. So if you have a script and you don't want a cold call, you can use this to do your cold calling as well. So that's a great example of a tool that's AI, that's not chat-based, that's very realistic and is actually can be used today for your business. So let's go ahead and just kind of recap here. You know, the risk of doing nothing is you're going to miss leads, you're going to waste ad spend, you're going to get generic content, and you're going to fall behind. So really, this is about establishing a competitive edge and positioning your business for success. So let's talk a little bit. Now we've kind of seen some things about what we can do with AI today. Let's talk about the future of AI. And I did give you a little bit of glimpse with agents. So chatbots, this is really going to explode. Right now, you see this on websites, but you're going to really see this as a main interface where people like to talk. So chatbots are going to be through language interaction versus typing interaction. Just like I had a conversation with that AI agent, people are going to start having conversations with these chatbots. So that's the next step, and it's much easier to have a natural conversation with someone than trying to search Google for terms that are Boolean terms that make no sense to a human. And as I talked about Microsoft, and they are really embracing this, this really is the key future of AI is autonomous agents. What this basically means is today, if I ask ChatGPT to do something for me, it can't go out and perform an action for me. But tomorrow it will be able to do that. If I say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to dinner with 5 of my friends. One is a vegan, one is a pescatarian, one is a vegetarian. I need a recommendation for a restaurant that's open now that can accommodate us. And can you book that as well? ChatGPT will be able to do that. It will be able to return that, and then it will be able to call the restaurant and then book the reservation on your behalf for you if you give it permission to do so. So that is basically what an AI agent is. It will be able to perform tasks on your behalf. And that is what Microsoft is recognizing, that people will become managers of their own AI agents that will perform tasks on their behalf. And finally, super intelligence. So this is kind of the little bit of a scary part, because we're already seeing from an intelligence perspective, AI has the intelligence of a genius. And so the scary part is to surpass human intelligence across all domains. So this is where we see a combination of AI with other technologies such as quantum computing. So quantum computing will actually really change the game from an AI perspective because of the compute power, and also because of the security and encryption capabilities of quantum computing. So quantum computing is really going to blow all of this away. You don't hear a lot of people talking about quantum computing and AI yet, but that's what's coming. And then also building on top of LLM. So really where I see the most benefit is low code generation and automation. I came from a low code background. I came from Domino, from IBM for 20 years. developers had to create workflows and programs. You don't need to do that today. You don't need to be a developer to know how to code. You just need to know what is the problem that you're trying to solve, and AI will solve it for you. So this is where it gets really interesting because people will be able to solve their own business problems. All right, one more freebie before we get to the end here about how to get started. This is another book on how to navigate the AI landscape. So this is really going to tell you how to get started as a small and medium business in the AI world. This is not going to give you chat prompts, but this is more practical applications and strategy for your small business. All right, we're getting towards the end here, and I mean that not just in the presentation, but just we're getting towards the end. All right, how do you get started here? All right, if you're thinking about where do I start with AI adoption? Really, the first thing that you want to do is think about policies for the usage in your organization. How do you tell people how they can and cannot use AI and what they can and cannot put into the AI? Because anything that you put into AI, those corporations, they own that data. So you do not want to put any personal identifiable information, any medical information, any credit card information into these LLMs. But you have to train your employees because they will do it if you don't tell them that they can't. Then the next thing that you do is you want to upskill your employees. So you want to encourage the usage, and it starts from the top. If you're the CEO or you're the president, you want to make sure that you're adopting these policies and you're embracing this as well. We will come in and we will assess where your company is from a knowledge perspective, and then we will give company-wide trainings and workshops to upskill your employees so that everyone knows what they can and can't do, and then encourage them to use it and figure out new ways to use it as well. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look at your processes. So we look at what you're doing today. How do you get sales? How do you get leads? How do you do marketing? How do you do your operations? All of these things, we're going to look at your process in great detail. Then we're going to look and see what are the right tools to suggest to automate or use AI to help you with those processes. Some of those could be out-of-the-box solutions, like a Read AI assistant for your meetings. Some of those could be customized LLMs. Depending on what we find, we will make our recommendation based on what we find in your organization. Then is the deployment. So then we're going to deploy these solutions, we're going to integrate, and we're going to train your employees, and then we're going to give you the ability to have an advisory so that you can continue this on your own, because this is not a one-time thing. This is something that is evolving, and you will need to have an advisory council so you know how to deal with all of this in the future. All right. So we have a dedicated learning center, which will keep you well informed. You've downloaded some of the items today. If you visit my website, there's a lot more ebooks and other things to do. And if you are interested, you can set up a free business assessment with me. This QR code is a link to my calendar. So if you are looking for some time to talk to me about AI and how AI can improve your organization, or how we can come in and do an assessment for you and see where you're at and give you an idea of where you can go, just block a meeting with me and we'll talk. Any questions from the audience? Do I recommend chatbots?
No, like which service can you use?
For chatbots. So is this for the creation of a custom chatbot for your website? So what I would say is that for a custom chatbot, you would want to go to a professional to have that created by a professional. That is a service that I offer. There's a lot of awesome people here today that have AI products and services. What I do, I have a lot of AI products, but I also look at your business and then customize to what your needs are. And then if you needed a customized chatbot, that is something that we could create for you. Or if it's something that's off the shelf, we would recommend that as well, depending on what your specific requirements are. Time frame between. Well, what we'll do is we'll look at what you've got today, and then we'll work with you to see what you want, how you want to strategize for the future. So if you have nothing in place today, you're starting with a blank slate, we can come in and do that. If you've already got an existing strategy, we will review that with you, and then review it and see if it needs to be changed, augmented, and then what we do is help you set up an internal council of stakeholders within your company who understand your business. So going forward, they can make the decisions from an AI perspective for your company the best way. So that's something that we help you do, is we'll help you set up that internal council so that you've got that forward-facing view and strategic view going forward. Yeah, so he asked, when should you go, if you want to redo your website, when should you go and talk to a digital marketing agency? As early as possible, because from my perspective, there are people here, they can build a website in a day. There's a booth right over there that they build websites in a day. I don't do that. I work with the business to understand who is your ideal customer, where are they, what is the market that you're trying to get, what are your goals. So I would understand, why are you rebuilding your website, who are you trying to target, and then based on that, I would then give my recommendations. So I would want to understand, what is your business goal? Why are you trying to get more leads? Are you trying to rebrand? Was it not successful in the past? Are you trying to build SEO, technical SEO into the website? Is it just a content issue? What's the issue? So that's my approach. Is what? So the AI driven, so I use AI in my agency on a daily basis, and then I have AI tools that I would recommend as solutions for you. If you're looking for it, go and do an audit on your own website using AI. I can do it, but I have prompts that I've built. Anyone can do it, right? I mean, just go and here's my website, give me an evaluation from here's my ideal customer, here's my website, here's how many leads I get, tell me how I can improve it. AI will give you suggestions. The difference between using AI for that and using a professional marketing agency is I'm working on your website every day while you're paying me versus you who's running your business, and maybe when you have time you can go and do that. My goal is I'm constantly looking at your stats, at your KPIs, and trying to improve them. That's what you're paying me to do. And if you're not getting an ROI from me, then we should not be doing business together. My goal is to give you a return on your investment. If I'm not doing that, we'll part ways. So, any other questions? What parts of that viewer? Yes. What have I automated? Okay, that's a great question. So, I have one of the things that I offer is an ideal customer persona. If you're familiar with, as a marketing professional, you should be familiar with an ideal customer persona. I created a custom chat GPT tool that when I interview my customer, I record the session, and then I take the transcript and I put that into my ICP generation tool, and it exports a report in a PDF format with the personas built based on the transcript. So that is an example of where I have used AI to automate a function within my personal marketing agency. The other thing that I do, like I told you, is the sales calls. I take all the sales transcripts, put them in there as a sales coach. That's not really automation, but that's more like a coach. And then actually all the things that I do in my AI consulting, I have AI tools to generate all the outputs. So I'm using AI to do my AI consulting job, and all of the reports that I generate from my AI consulting, I'm using my AI tools to generate the reports that I give to you. So I'm eating my own medicine as I'm teaching you as well. So that's an example. It was wonderful to meet everyone. Have a great show.